I have a filter on called vintage. Is it vintage at all? You tell me. I don't know. All I know is that our photos from the Soviet Union from the 1980s up until the time we left were all in black and white. People didn't have colored cameras over there. So Soviet style vintage is black and white all the way into the 90s. So, but for the sake of keeping things Soviet, I've found the vintage filter. So here we go. All right. I had a really creepy and disturbing synchronicity yesterday, which is not news to me. A lot of my synchronicities are creepy or strange. But this one got to me so much that I'm making a video about it. So I was working at my old job, uh, the residential blah 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 apartments and all that, and we use this app where they track us, and people send in their complaints and stuff, usually petty nonsense and a lot of really annoying stuff that's irrelevant. And I was listening to this really tragic true crime story about a case of child neglect and abuse, a famous case in LA that resulted in the child's death. And despite the fact that authorities were called 60 something times or whatever, nothing was ever done to help the child. I think he was about 9 years old or 8. And it just goes to show, like, when the Matrix is hell bent on not providing assistance to those in dire need, it will make sure to go as far as it possibly can not to help for whatever reason. And we see this time and time again. The miracles are very, very rare and short-lived, and not nearly as often as they should occur if we supposedly have angelic assistance provided to us. Then again, there's the New Agers who say, oh, well, he incarnated to experience that, blah, blah, blah. So, whatever. My point is that the moment I finished listening to that terrible story, depressing story, I got an issue on the app saying that there's child abuse taking place and someone screaming in the building the moment I stopped the video. So I was like, this is ridiculous. First of all, we don't get issues like that. That's not something that we deal with. That's for police. But of course, it's some kind of Matrix type of event because, I go there and there's absolutely nothing going on, which is what I expected. So, some kind of quantum computer glitch entanglement that enabled that to occur, in my opinion. So, I haven't listened to anything depressing since then now. And I won't. So, another thing that I want to continue on based upon what we discussed the other day about a sense of disintegration that we're feeling, being unable to process the world anymore. It is like becoming a black hole to where it just doesn't compute anymore. And another addition to that is time and the construct of our day, or at least this is happening to me, whereby I just detest time, where I don't want to look at a clock anymore. I don't want to know what time it is ever anymore. I uh, I don't want that rigid, structured, mathematical, dead, sort of lifeless, machine like presence to rule my life. That's what the clock is for. That is what the clock is for all of us. It is for us to remain as cogs in a machine, because a clock is a machine. So I I'm having this aversion lately to clocks, to time, to looking at time, whereas before I was obsessive over it. I've always been extremely adamant about being on time everywhere I go, everything I do, never late, things like that. Um, but lately, it's another process of disintegration that I'm experiencing, which is the idea, the rigid idea, this fake idea of how we structure society in this false cycle. I believe is a false cycle where us naturally, we live naturally in timelessness already, and that's how life should be. Life should be random, adventurous, timeless. um, it should have all those sort of elements to that. I don't think we were designed to be a colony of ants following the crowd, doing everything in structured, ordered times. That's not how we were designed as souls. Just my opinion, though. I don't know. Um, Having said that, we have a. Before I have to go back to iPad Go 2 rehab, we actually do have a very viable time frame that has showed up to look for. I at least have to give it an honorable mention, if you could bear with me, and that is the first week of December this year with the total solar eclipse. The reason being isn't even because of iPad Go 2, but because of what was found in Back to the Future, that movie. And it's really eye-opening. I was actually really shocked at the discovery made in the scene about the Twin Pines Mall and its relation to December 1st to the 4th, 2021. And if anybody, it's Jeff Overholt, my friend. If anybody wants to see his video on that, and also not only him, Theology Ed, his YouTube channel has covered this as well. And they actually collaborated each other without even knowing each other first and came up with the same conclusion. And they also both dabble with Back to the Future because that movie has a lot of weird stuff in it. So comment if you want to see that. I'll share it. Bye.